Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a magnet to the controller here before we get started. Go ahead and turn my glue gun on. Harbor Freight Bauer glue gun, battery operated off of my power tools. You just never know what you got a hot glue. So I love this thing. It's 20 bucks too. I mean, Harbor Freight stepping the game up. I think Ryobi has one. So we'll just get a magnet and glue a magnet on the back of here. Okay, we are green, good to go. Here's our magnet. It's gonna get a lot of glue on here, as much as we can get probably. Just press that on there. Alright, now we can just remove this controller when we need to. So I've got the heater running. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. All these heaters have a cool down period. So when you actually shut it off, it'll continue to run and cycle to get any of the excess heat off of the motor, basically. So I'm going to have to let this thing cool down before I touch it here. Okay, now we're going to disconnect this, and actually this thing is on a transformer that I've got it powered through. So we'll go ahead and pull the power like so. Then this is our diesel fuel line. It's on an 8mm clamp. Let me get a towel. I want to get this towel too close to that exhaust system. Get a towel underneath it here. Get that clamp loose, and then we'll have to pull this clear line out of our black connection like so, and then get it out of the way. Want to leave that line. We're not going to replace that line. Then I've also got this unit on a magnet system as well. So we'll want to disconnect this inner hose clamp. The exhaust is still hot. And then on this side we have a clamp as well. Go ahead and remove that. Then unplug. Then we'll unplug our harness here. Like so. And then pull our exhaust off. And then I should be able just to remove this. This is why I wanted it on magnets. We'll just set this aside for now. I'm going to be doing a rebuild video on this. It's time for me to rebuild this. So don't forget to check the channel at a later date, and I'll have this thing disassembled and show you how to clean it out and rebuild it. Okay, so we're underneath of my toolbox. Oh, it's a little gunky down here. And I've got my fuel pump in a container here. So we'll have to unplug the harness there. And the majority of all these fuel pumps are kind of the same from what I'm seeing. This is the fuel pump that came with the new kit. If I don't have to unplug that, it does look a little different. So maybe we will just go ahead and replace that. But we've got to unplug the harness here. And then I'll pull the wire out. Kind of a hassle to do all this. There we go. I wonder if there's a number on this one. Guess what we'll do is I've got the fuel shut off. We'll go ahead and disconnect this, and I'll just put the new fuel pump down in there. That way we can keep all the lines. Ugh. Oh crap. And it does have a different number. CNMZ23. This one says HD21, 22 to 12 volt. This says 12 to 20. We're going to go ahead and replace this out. I will keep this one as a spare, is what I'll do. There we go. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and remove my mounting bolt. I thought these things were magnetic. And we'll put this right back in place. I'll describe to you why you need a 45-degree angle, 60 to 40 degrees on your fuel pump. Okay, what we want to do is put this dampener back on. I know it's kind of dark in here, but I put my light in my house, so we'll put our dampener back on. I think I'm going to need a different nut driver. That's why I had it on backwards, because I put it on wrong to begin with. Ooh, diesel's nasty. Not a big fan of working on diesels. Now we'll tighten it back up. And then we'll go ahead and connect the end line as well. Okay. We'll come back down and double check that when it starts running. Okay, so then we want to put our pump onto the wall there. And the reason that you want a 45-degree line angle here, you want it to be try to be 45 to 60 is ideal. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do an unboxing video on another Hcalory heater, and it's mounted like this. So if the fuel comes in here and the pump is inside of here with a seal that's round, what'll happen is if this isn't at an angle, you will have airspace here, which will create basically an air gap for wear on the internal seal. So what you have to do is you have to have it at an angle. It has to be at an angle. So when it comes up, it's going to fill this, and then the piston goes up and down in the rubber seal there, and it'll basically remove all the air from the system and keep the seal lubricated all the way around the pump. Now it doesn't have to be perfect on the degree, but you do need to get it at somewhat the right angle. Okay, so now we just got our hole here for the fuel pump. Okay, now back up to here. So I've got the wiring harness on, just a wire clamp. Go ahead and get that pulled off. Oh, you know what? I didn't get the fuel pump line. This is our fuse, red to red, black to black. Go ahead and rewire that. Okay. So, oh, almost forgot the controller. So I've got to unplug. There's the key. I've never used the key to the controller. Won't be needing that again. So we'll go ahead and unplug this as well. Oh, I might have glued that. I'm not sure. I think I double-sided this with Gorilla Tape. I'm not sure. I don't know if I get that off. Well, there's the controller. Yep. Double-sided Gorilla Tape. That's the best tape in the world, I swear to God. When I used to clean air ducts, the Gorilla Tape was the only thing. When you got in the bottom of a mobile home, they run all the insulation in these big long sheets, and to access the bottom of the ductwork you had to cut into the insulation, and the only tape that would work would be Gorilla Tape. There was nothing else we found that would be able to hold that insulation up, because it was such long sheets of insulation. Because when they make those mobile homes or modular homes, it's all made in a warehouse as quick as possible and as efficiently as possible. So yeah, just a little fun fact for you. Okay, let's see if we can get this wiring harness out of here. It's starting to get a little colder in here now. I don't remember how the hell I run that. Bring it behind that pegboard. There we go. This will be the... Hey! Okay, so we'll get this wiring harness untaped here. And you know what I forgot? On that one heater, when I changed that very first heater that I had, that was a 2 kilowatt, which was not enough power. Then I went to a 5, and now we're to a 5 and an 8. This fuel pump line was shorter. So I hope this thing... Oh, this is long. Look how long this is. This fuel pump wire, it's pretty long. I hope it's long enough. Okay. Got the wiring harness here. We'll go ahead and feed that wiring harness, that fuel pump, through that hole first. Oh no, I think I broke my seat I'm standing on. Oh, I've had that thing for years. Anyway, we'll just go ahead, and this is a much larger, I don't know if I'm going to get this able to run the way I had it before. If I can't, that's going to be a big problem. Yeah, it looks long enough. Yeah, it's plenty long. So this is my air box. Go ahead and move that. I'll talk about that in a minute. So I run it behind this pegboard and down this side of this wall, and I've got to get it between, and I've got to get it pushed in there. I could never do this with drywall. Thank God I use plywood. It'll give me a little flex and get that. There we go. Get that wire down there. Okay. Oh yeah, look how long this line is. See, let me tell you people, I'll put a link below to this heater and these other heaters that I'm using. This Hcalory brand is so much better than the off-brand heaters for pretty much everything on here. Oh shit, my Dyson. There we go. I don't want to smash it now. Just want to hold it back there. There we go. That way it'll free. Then we'll go ahead and install our air box back as well. Mess with that in a second. This air box, I've never had to clean a filter because the motor doesn't pull as much air. The reason I'm using this is there is an air filter in there, and also because of the length of this tube. See, these diesel heaters are supposed to be mounted outside of your vehicle, of your RV, your bus, or whatever that's extremely large to heat. That's why it heats this garage so well. But with the amount of tube that I have going into the heater, this air filter should technically be outside in the cold. So I'm able to get a cooler temperature by having an air box and running a longer hose than just connecting that junk air filter. This is not an air filter that comes with this. This is a round cylinder with mesh screens, and it's a hollow tube. This will filter nothing. So, okay, let's start with the wiring. Actually going to use some zip ties on this one. So this will go to the, actually I'm going to wipe this down a little bit. I've got a little diesel up here. Probably should come up here every once in a while and clean this off. Okay. So there's our fuel line, not a big deal. This is our line for our plug-in for our heater. So on this side it's going to be on the outside, which means we need to clean up and zip tie. This is our main fuse line. This is our power line, our 12-volt line here. And we'll have to cut and splice this in. And this next time I'm going to actually use butt connectors instead of hard wiring it there. I guess I could solder it, but I really don't want to. And I could actually clip this stuff down as well, but again, I'm not going to. But I do want to be able to get to that fuse for some reason if it ever blows, which I don't see that happening. Okay, this is our controller. This is for our controller. And then this is our ground. So we will go ahead and put this back where it was. Like so. This is our electrical. That'll have to be connected. This is our ground. That'll have to be connected. And then this is for the controller, and it needs to go down this hole here. So I'll go ahead and clean some of this up. We'll just zip tie this stuff up too. Oh. Okay. We can run that second. Well, I'm not sure what gauge these are. Wow, 10 gauge. Man, I thought that was 12 or 14. That's a thick ass wire. I thought they were way smaller than that. I thought they was at least 14. Apparently I was wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I don't know if I've got butt connectors for this. I might have to wire them together. Red's bigger than blue, ain't it? No, blue's bigger than red. Boy, I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's gonna... I might have to electrical tape that. I'm gonna have to throw some electrical tape on that. Okay, I got the electrical tape. Well, I don't know, this is a lot thicker than the other one. This looks like about 12 gauge. See? There's a big difference in these wiring harnesses as well. I'll tell you, this brand's just a little bit cheaper, guys, but in the long run, the quality, just in this wiring, I can tell the difference in the quality of the unit itself. Shit. I know that ain't the right. We'll get some electrical tape on that as well. We have the 12. This way, when I have to remove it, I won't have to clip the wires next time. It's starting to get a little cold in here. Shit. Okay, get some electrical. Okay, we'll worry about straightening that. Oh, you know what? I hope this hole's big enough. Oh, well, I don't want to have to pull that gate. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I drilled another hole into this thing. Look at this. I sure did, and I put a little. I didn't know I did that. Hey, that worked out great. So we'll just plug this bad boy in. You'll hear it snap when it gets plugged in. There we go. Hey, that worked out pretty good. Well, guess what? We're done there. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get this heater put up there. Have to adjust for the exhaust system here. So this green line, this fuel line, this is used for like ATVs and motorcycles, but what I want to show you is it's just a flexible line instead of a hard line. So what will happen is when that fuel pump pumps, it's pressurized. So if you use this green line, what will eventually happen is over a period of time, all the pressure in this line, it's going to pump, and this line's going to sit and expand constantly while this machine is running. So you're likely to have more of a failure, and you're not going to have a direct flow to the heater as steady as these hard lines. So what you've done is you've lowered the diameter with these hard lines, which will increase pressure and allow a steady flow to go into the heater rather than a flexible line that will sit and flex under pressure. And it could possibly have air bubbles. If you don't get the angle right on the fuel pump, you could run into even more problems. So if I got links, I'll put them below. This kit is not very much money. I just highly suggest it. And when you go to install this, put that hose clamp on there, and you're just going to push this up about as far as you can get it up through that black line. It's hard to get a good angle for while I'm doing this. And push it up there, and then come back and tighten this clamp onto the line. And you'll have to, it'll go in there pretty good when you're tightening it. And I'll check for leaks here when we're done. Boy, this is going to be a problem. Oh, man. Oh, just destroying that chair. I don't know if you heard that. I'm not sure how I'm going to run that air hose. Anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll do one problem at a time here. So we'll go ahead and plug this thing. This is the entire computer here. We'll plug this in. Snap. Okay, that's done. Like so. Wow, I didn't realize the angles were going to be so bad with this. I've got some really bad angles going on here to connect this stuff. I forgot to run that air line through. Back to where it was going to go through. Well, farts. There we go. I might have to take that hose clamp off. Ah, crap. Oh. It's only 0 degrees outside. Oh my God, I crushed the hose. I might have to go to a hard line. Come on. I totally crushed the hose. Oh, maybe I didn't. Yep, I totally crushed that line. Right there, see it? Son of a bitch. Well, that's alright. It's gonna be tricky to cut this sumbitch now. Boy, now I'm starting to struggle. Hey, problem solved. Okay. Now I got to get that clamp on that intake side. I can move that angle of that intake. I sealed the exhaust. I didn't seal the intake. I thought I sealed both of them, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Boy, I'm struggling. Come on. Jesus Christ. Boy, I'm not sure what's going on here. There we go. Okay, intake, gas, fuel pump's hooked up. We haven't crushed our air line, our muffler's on. I can go ahead and run. Oh wow, those magnets are really strong. You know what? I'm not going to run them under the magnets. Just run them through this fuel line hole. Okay, we can wait on that. Then, where is our, okay, there's our line for our controller. Okay, Now we've just got to get our angle here for our exhaust. Actually, that clamp's got to come off, because now the muffler is up top of here, and not for sure I'm going to gasket seal that. Make sure that I'm not going to, if it leaks, I'll put the seal on it. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it. That thing ain't doing a very good job there. There we go. Okay, where the hell did the controller go? Oh, there it is. Oh wow, this is like way shorter of a, oh my god, the glue come off. Well, that ain't gonna work. Well, hot glue gun didn't work. I got some of that Gorilla Glue left on there. Well, what the hell's that peg? I don't know what's going on here. Just put it back where it was, I guess. Wait till you see this gargantuan hose here. Oh, I gotta try to get this thing on this. So I could get more heat coming out of it. This is 90 millimeters instead of the standard 65. There we go. It looks like an elephant trunk. I could trim this out. Well, I'm gonna have to trim this out because this thing's fucking crazy long. Okay, let me clean some of this up before I plug this in. Okay, our transformer's plugged in. Let's go ahead and power this thing on, see if it turns on. I really hope it does. Hey, hey, that's great. Look at that screen, and then it shut off. Oh my god, it talks to me. Oh, that's a funky ass noise. Well, that's a weird noise. What's going on here? Oh, I'm gonna have to learn how to program this. Oh, it's... Turn the fuel on. I have no idea how that controller works. I want it as hot as possible. See if the fuel pump starts pumping. So we got power to the unit. power to the controller. It smells like it's burning. The glow plug's heating. And then let's see if that starts pumping, priming. Now I think there was a remote. There it goes. Oh my God. Come on. So it's going to prime. When this thing starts pumping, if you have an empty line, the actual machine, if the line is pretty far, will shut off until you can get the fuel line primed. So let's see. I was just hoping that this was going to be like basic, you know, to turn up and turn down. So it's got a gauge that you can't necessarily see. It's got a gauge here. I was hoping it was just like you're able to just, so it's a little slower. Look, I want it cranked. I want it as hot as possible. So there's actually the fuel. The fuel is, there it goes. I can hear it running. And the fuel pump is starting to pick up. It's got some air in the line. It'll have to work all that out. Hey, I can feel, oh, that's a lot more airflow. That 90 millimeters, holy cow. There you can see the fuel here. It's got some air in it that it's going to have to pump out of it. It's going to air out because I don't think it ignited. So the fuel, I can actually see it is right here and it stopped. So the controller will probably air code out. And then I'll have to restart it. Guess it might make sense. Stop heating. Okay, so oh my God, did that just jack the whole screen up when I peeled that off? See if it's gonna start up again. I just wish it was in Fahrenheit. I guess I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have to go through and read this manual. Because I told you I wanted to have it on Bluetooth and everything else too. So it didn't air code out. It just shut off. There goes the fuel pump. So I can hear the fuel pump pumping there. And like I said, it usually takes 2 times with how far down the fuel pump is. There we go. I could see the air bubble. It's still got air in it, so there we go. There's the beginning of the fuel right here. It's moving right now. The glow plug just clicked in. Good old diesel glow plug. There we go. We should be good to go now. And what I'm looking for is I want to see smoke either coming out of this exhaust or any of these connections, and then I'll go down and double check that I don't have any leaks on the fuel pump. itself on that fuel line. There we go. It just kicked on. Woo! Come on. It's only 50 degrees out here. I guess it ain't freezing yet. It's a lot quieter with that muffler too. It's not as loud. Oh, it's really turned in some fans. That fan's really blowing on this end pipe here. Nope, it stopped. Means it didn't combust. See what it does. There it goes. So the fuel pump just kicked back on. There's another big air bubble. Look at that thing. It's got a lot of air in it, is what it is. It's putting out heat now. Oh man, that's great. I was thinking I wasn't going to be... Oh my God, thank God for technology. There's so much heat, I can feel it come through that glove. I can feel it through my glove. I'm just not sure how to work the dial here. And I don't see any diesel leaks. So, thanks for watching. There'll be another unboxing video of another heater next week. Well, maybe the week after that. I got a big announcement next week for some other stuff. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm out of here.